DreamWorks. You know them, I know them, LeBron knows them. I mean, come on, they gave us The Croods and a bunch of other hits too.
There is no Easter Bunny, there is no Tooth Fairy, and there is no Queen of England.
They've been in the game for a long time now, but I'm not here to talk about the merge or the history. Nope, today we're diving into something else. Their movie premiere costumes. You see, at most premieres, there's usually something set up, like a big statue, a costume, or just something cool to mark the occasion or to snap photos with. And that's exactly what today's video dives into. The amazing costume showcase at DreamWorks movie premieres. Now, let's start this video off with Barry B. Benson. Now, love it or hate it, you gotta admit, the premise of the movie is nuts. Just imagine you're some guy and your wife cheats on you with a bee. Then that bee takes humanity to core, shuts down the entire honey industry, and somehow almost ends life on Earth. Like what were they smoking on? Now, even though the movie was different, let's just say that for the movie, the costume was actually really high quality. You can tell they actually put a lot of effort into it. The only thing that's off is the face. The thing with costumes, most costumes, whatever face they're given, that's what they have to work with. So for certain angles, it could look off. Next up, we have Dogman, and this one is straight fire. They absolutely nailed it. The fur, the proportions, the color, just everything. I don't see any flaws with it whatsoever. It's definitely up there with the best costumes. Personally, I would like a photo of him, Mr. Dogman, Mr. President Dogman. Sir, can I have a photo, please? Moving on, we have Bob from Monster vs. Aliens, and he is one of the greatest fictional characters of all time. Listen, Luffy could go suck an egg, Bob can kick Blackbeard's ass any time of the day, and for a creature as powerful as Bob, they really did my guy justice. They nailed his playful expression perfectly, and from the photos, I noticed two things. First, it looks like the actor could actually move Bob's eyes, which adds a nice touch of personality. Second, in some shots, you could see they gave Bob legs so the actor could walk around. I think that's just funny, since, you know, he's not supposed to have legs. Also, doing my research, I found some random ass costumes, like bro's actually trying to beat Stinger Flynn and Batman. Like, listen, man, you can't beat him. Listen, you don't have the the God damn, the polygons to beat up. Jesus Christ, that took me a while. Anyways, next up we have Home, one of the best cinematic masterpieces that's often overlooked. This movie cured at least 10% of furniture's third depression. Yeah, no bad joke, but seriously, aside from Sheldon Cooper playing make-believe, it's a good movie. And for the movie premiere, there were two costumes, O and Captain Smack. Now, O is great, nothing needs to be said. But what the hell happened to Smack? He'd be smoking the big joint. Those eyes of a man that saw the ending of One Piece. Yeah, I'm sorry, listen, man. I watched too much One Piece. Be seeing his whole family get massacred with a care in the world. And the one thing that didn't do is Kyle. And for that, DreamWorks, I hate you. How dare you prevent me seeing Kyle? Listen, Kyle, he's the best. Top 10, top 1%, 0.1% best DreamWorks character of all time. Can't deny that.
Well, before I got the password, I erased him.
The world has a very special place in my childhood. When I tell you I was obsessed, that would be an understatement. I just could not get enough of the ROM hack task videos from the early.
Hey, you know what else is peak? Flushed Away. I'm not gonna lie, that movie is actually pretty good. That said, the costumes, man, they're something else. Like, their noses are massive. These guys are not proportional at all. The rest of their costumes are solid, but the heads just don't match with the bodies. When you compare them side by side with the Marvel characters, you can exactly see what I mean. Got them Funko Pop proportions. Next up, we got Over the Hedge. And honestly, these guys should legally not be allowed within a 25 miles radius of a school. There needs to be some kind of federal alarm the second they get too close. Listen, Vern, you're not Barney, so put your hands away. RJ, just don't, just don't. And Hemi, put that hand down. You're from Indiana, alright? Besides them looking like professional high-class sovereign citizens from the most elite of neighborhoods, like I said earlier, whatever face they're given, that's exactly what they gotta work with. Speaking of high class, let's talk about Megamind. At the movie premiere, there were two costumes, Markiplier and Megamind himself. Now, the amount of detail is actually crazy. Metro Man has his tassels and golden divots from his suit, and Mega Man, you cannot touch that man. And honestly, what the actual hell did they do to him in the second movie? Also, if you look at Mega Man movie premiere, for some reason this random image, Jesus, shows up and turns out to be Zendaya. I had no idea. I thought it was a Muppet. Now, let's talk about Chicken Run. This is made from nightmares. I feel that even Conquest couldn't even defeat these guys. Maybe even Goku. I want to look away, but I can't. Those eyes look back with no emotion. Alright, after all that, we need a refresher. Let's talk about Shrek. I mean, come on, who does not love Shrek? There's no way they can mess him. What the hell? I get this was from the first movie, but still, why do so many of DreamWorks' costumes look like they're about to commit a felony? But thank God for Shrek 2, they actually got their together. It's so much better in every way. And god damn it, they went and made him look like a felon again for the third movie. Wow. Well, that's just great. Thank you so much, man. Now, before we move on to the next movie, I have to bring up Shark Tale. Weirdly, I couldn't find any photos of costumes at the premiere, which is strange because I swear I remember seeing them wearing some kind of suits at a party or event. Maybe I'm misremembering, but if anybody out there knows more, please let me know. That would be great. Moving on, we got Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Brer Rabbit. At the premiere, there were two costumes, and I can't help but laugh. Wallace's face just looks so stupid. He's over there looking like, oi, I got a cheese and a cup of tea stuck between my teeth, mate, because I got that British thing in my dinner. Also, I need the hat. Moving on, we have Madagascar Escape to Africa. For the premiere, there were 5 costumes. The 4 penguins and Alex the lion. Now, looking at the image, you might say, hey, isn't this from the Penguins movie? And yes, but the thing is, these costumes were actually used across Madagascar 2, Madagascar 3, and Penguins. The only notable difference was that for the third movie, Skipper wore an afro wig. It's a bit disappointing that the honors weren't there. Characters like Gloria and King Julian also have meet and greet suits at the theme parks, which they could have used. That said, the suits they used were really well made, and far less off-putting than some of the honors we've seen. Next up, we have Kung Fu Panda. And just look at this Poe. The texture is great, and the proportions are spot on. I would say this suit is, along with Bob, being some of the best suits so far. This same Poe costume was reused for the second movie, but it was slightly updated for the third. The change is subtle, but what gave it away for me was the eyes. The original had smaller eyes, where the newer version had larger, more pronounced ones. Tigers and 2 other pandas will also appear in the Kung Fu Panda 3 premiere. For the fourth movie, they went back to the original Poe suit, but added his Dragon Warrior outfit, which was a nice touch. Also, for the second movie, they did it when Poe ate the wolf in the dragon costume. I think is neat, but I don't know if I should count this as a costume. But it is a costume, but not the costumes that we're talking about. You get it, right? Moving on, we have the OG Puss in Boots. I really like Puss. It's well done. It's a cat, so it's not that hard to get right. But Soft Paws, I just can't quite put my finger on it. I don't know if it's the expression, or maybe it's her hand looking a bit dislocated. But something feels off. Though overall, it's still good. For the Last Wish, it seems like they reused the same suits. Soft Paws might look slightly different in the face, but that could just be the lighting. Next up, we have Rise of the Guardians, one of my favorite DreamWorks movies, and they made him a felon. That's just great. They chose an elf instead of Jack or even the Easter Bunny. You know that makes sense. Thank you, DreamWorks. Thank you for a felon. Next up, we have The Cruise, which gave us Belt, and honestly, it's up there with Bob. This has to be one of the closest of any suit has come matching the character. Or I guess Dogman comes pretty close too, but Belt beats it. The fur is what really pushes it over the edge. It looks spot on. After that, we have to fall from the grace of God just a little, with Peabody and Sherman. Now, Peabody is great. It's Sherman, which I have a problem with. He's a kid that needs to be separated from other kids. Don't you even dare give me a thumbs up. Well, okay, listen, go play with Vern or something. Next up, we have the Trolls. Listen, I never watched the Trolls movies, so I have no idea what they're about, but the costumes, I'll give it a solid 7 out of 10. Not much else to say. And grouping it with that, we got Abominable. Yeti. Another movie I haven't seen, but just from looking at images on Google, I would say the costume really does a good job capturing the character. Now, let's end the video with How to Train Your Dragon. For the premiere of the second movie, there was a full toothless seal, and the amount of detail is just insane. You can see each scale perfectly. They didn't skip the wings either, which are just a detail. And the final touch, the tail. Out of all the suits we've seen, this one hands down takes the cake. Out of all of them, really, out of all of them. As for the third movie, they didn't do a life here, but I swear I've seen a suit of her somewhere. Maybe it was handmade. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, please let me know. Which brings us to the end of the video. I'm pretty sure I've covered every premiere suit out there, though I'm sure there's at least one I missed. And I have a question for you. Do you think these costumes are still out there, like the Barry or Bob ones? They are pretty old. Maybe they're sitting in storage somewhere, or maybe they were tossed out years ago. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, or Captain Smack will smack you.